Well, hello there. Welcome back. Don't I look a little crazy? My name's Edie. We're here at She is Glamorous. We are continuing our day look makeup tutorial. So let me catch you up to what we've already done. I've cleaned, prepped my skin, moisturized. I've got a great liquid foundation on. I highlighted, primed my eyelids, and baked all of my highlighted areas. So now we're ready to go. I haven't swiped away the powder under my eyes because we're gonna use that to catch fallout, and then I'm gonna show you how to do all of that. Before we get started, I wanna talk about, we're gonna go with eyes first. I wanna talk about some of my brushes and kind of what I use for brushes and what I think are the most important. My number one go-to brush, this is an Ulta blending eyeshadow brush. It is my favorite brush. This is the brush I use every day. This is my go-to everyday favorite brush. It's fluffy for blending, but it's also kind of flat. So you can, it's wide but narrow. So you can use this really beautifully in the crease to get really nice coverage. I've got two different blending brushes. This is some no-name, I don't even know what brand this is. No-name brand blending brush, and then a Real Techniques. This one's very fluffy and soft. This one's a little firmer, so that's gonna give us two different looks, and we'll use those separately. I've got a pointed or a tapered blending brush. This is a Sigma E45 small taper blending brush. Huge fan of this brush. I use this in the crease. And then I've got like a little Morphe flat shading brush that I use to apply shimmer or glitter or whatever I wanna put on my eyelid. So those are the 5 brushes that I'm gonna use for my eyes. I'm gonna take my flat blending crease brush and we're gonna go in with Unique in the color Discreet. So just load it up. I'll show you a little bit. One of my eyeshadows came broken. I was really sad, so don't judge me when I show you this. We're just gonna take the brush and you're just gonna lightly tap it into the color. And then this is the big key. If you don't want fallout, see all of that extra powder that came off? That doesn't end up on your face, which is really nice. So then we're just gonna take this and you're gonna watch me swipe it all over my eyelid. So I'm gonna take this. Remember, wherever you place the brush the first time is where you get the intensity of color, right? So that's where it's gonna be most intense. So I wanna concentrate almost all of the color to the outer corner. So I start on the outer corner, and I just swipe it up and around. This is my base color, so we're gonna take this all the way up almost to the eyebrow and across the lid. This is my base color. This is just to give me a foundation on top of my primer on which to build other colors. So same again, you just touch it into the product, tap off the excess, start on the outer corner and swipe up. If you could feel what I'm feeling right now, you would feel the brush gliding along the socket of the bone. So I'm taking it into the crease and above. Now take the brush up and away, and then across the eyelid. So it doesn't really look any different, right? All of the color is concentrated on the outside of the corners, and I can't even really see a difference. That's how you know you picked a good foundational color for your eyes, is that you don't really tell that it's there. All it's gonna do is help the colors kind of transition up and away into nothing. So picking a color that's very similar to your skin tone or very similar to your transition color that comes next is perfectly fine. So for transition color, we're gonna go a little bit darker. And so I'm gonna take Astute. It's the one that broke. Astute from Unique, and just tap it on there, tap off the excess, and then we're gonna take this into the crease. Now you should be able to see some color here. Take it right along the brow bone, and then going into about, if this were a clock, going into about 2 o'clock. So we're going from 9 to 2, swiping back and forth, and then we're gonna take it up and blend it out. So you always want to make sure that you're blending because you don't want any harsh lines. Everything is soft. You never see where one color starts and another color ends. All the colors just blend in together beautifully. So you're going to take this from the outer corner all along, this time from 3 to 10 p.m. 3 to 10, swiping through, blending up and out. It's very subtle gradation of color, and like with the foundation, you can always add more. So start with just a little bit and see if it's not intense enough. If you want more drama, if you want more color, do it. But we're doing a daytime look right now, so I don't need so much color. So I've got my transition color, which is astute, and my foundation color, which is discreet. I'm just gonna make sure that they're blended really well. And if you notice, I hope that you can see, if you notice already my eyes look more open. They look bigger, they look lifted because I concentrated the color right out here on both eyes. And when you do that, what that's gonna do, especially if you have hooded eyes like I do, or if your eyes dip down at the ends like mine do, or if you've got more of an almond-shaped eye, what that's gonna do is it's gonna take the area that's a little low, that's closed, that's droopy, or that's small folded under, and it's gonna lift it and make it look more open. It doesn't actually lift your eyes, it's just powder. But it will make you look brighter, which is great. So now I'm gonna change into my crease brush. So this is that Sigma E45 small tapered blending brush. She's my best friend. And then we're gonna go for something a little more dramatic. So I'm gonna grab Nonsensical from Unique. This is a palette that we just customized. So I wanna show you how much product I'm picking up. Here's the palette, here's my brush. I'm literally barely just touching the tip to the palette and just swirling it around to get just some product right on the tip and then tap off the excess. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this color, and I don't want you to do this with your eye closed. I want your eyes open. And I want you to take this color starting at the crease, and where the fold, the crease of your eye is, just swipe the tip. And again, to that 1 or 2 o'clock position is just gonna give you a little bit of depth and a little bit of drama. Now I find with this brush, I love this brush, she's one of my best friends, but I find that she will sometimes skip across the skin and leave these little dots of product. What that does is, it's where, see if you can, I don't know if you can see, I hope you can. See how there's like little dots of product where it missed because it skipped across my skin? No big deal, just blend it out. But right now we're just worrying about placing that color. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit more color and place it right into that crease. Just a touch. Remember, light hand, you can always add more color, you can always go back. And I'm gonna look and see where the color is a little gapped or where I want to intensify the color. I want a little more at the crease, and I want a little more right here, or at the corner, and a little more right at the top of the crease so that it's even. And then we're just gonna blend it just a little bit. Don't worry, we're gonna use another brush and blend this out so it's perfect and pretty. Now when you're blending, I want you to hold the brush toward the back. So if you're touching the silver part of the brush, you're gonna apply pressure and you're just gonna scrape product off. So you wanna hold the brush back towards the back. I try to keep a really light, feather-light touch when I'm blending. And then when you blend, with this brush, it's just a windshield wiper motion. So we just wanna work that product into the crease so it gives us just a little bit of depth, a little bit of drama. And then I'm gonna take my super fluffy, no-name fluffy blending brush, and I'm gonna do some circles on top and blend.
And how much pressure are you using?
Very little pressure. The brush is just gliding like little butterfly kisses on my skin. Just very, very, very light, very easy. You want to blend the color, you don't want to wipe the color off. And if you push too hard or you apply too much pressure, you're just gonna wipe that color away. So one of the things about blending that frustrates me, it does make it look really pretty, but then you lose that intensity of the color, right? So if you look, it's lightened up quite a bit. So then you go back with your mini tapered brush, you pick up just a little bit of that blendable color, the color that you're using in your crease, and you deepen. And you may have to do this 3 or 4 times. That's okay. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It's just the darker the shade of eyeshadow, the more time you're gonna need to spend making sure that you get that color intensity that you want. You want the payoff for the color. You don't want it to be streaky. You don't want it to be dips and dots and all kinds of things. You want it to be smooth and even and pretty. And the more you blend, the smoother, the more even, the more pretty it becomes. So spend time blending. Now, if you get to the point where you suddenly look kind of muddy, or like there's no differentiation between color, you have over blended, and you need to go back in and place that color again, and don't rub it quite so much. So that's gonna give me, I'm gonna do it one more time to get the intensity of color that I want. And remember, the first place you place the brush is where you're gonna get the biggest intensity of color. And blend. So if you look, you can't really see that crease color in my eye. What you see is a little bit of depth. If you notice, this eye without the crease color looks kind of flat. This eye, it looks like my eye recedes back and therefore makes my eye look more open. So we're gonna take that crease color, we're gonna place it over here, and then I'll be right back. Snap.